guys? It's your boy Alex, and welcome back to the Brave Lionheart channel, and we are once again back with another reaction video, and today, this is another special reaction that goes out to someone who sadly passed away and has left our lives, sadly. This is a special request from Infinity Studios for me to react to another Nostalgia Critic reaction video, but this time, it's on a movie that everybody knows and loves, and had a really great actor that sadly left us in our time. And sadly, we might need some laughter again after the stuff that's been going on. You know, stuff like that. But anyway, yes, today we are taking a look at Nostalgia Critic's review of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, starring the late and sadly very late and deceased Bob Hoskins. Now, for those of you who have never seen the movie, a little brief history. It was a movie that sort of was one of the first few films that combined animation and live action. Basically combining live actors with 2D animated cartoons. Basically bringing them into the real world, which was a big feat for film directors. And not only that, but it brought together characters from two of the greatest companies in the world, Disney and Warner Brothers. Before Warner Brothers later tried that again. And it was a popular film, not just for kids, but for adults as well. Surprisingly, if you know what I mean. And this video is also, it's going out to Bob Hoskins. May he rest in peace once again. And there were also a few other roles that he did in the past that I don't really want to talk about as much, but we're just not going to waste any time and jump straight in. Alright, and we are ready to begin the video. Now, I already did the special intro, so we're not going to jump into any special intros for this part, and we're just going to jump right into the video. So, without further ado, let's dive right into Nostalgia Critic's review of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and see who did do that. Spoiler alert, it was Christopher Lloyd. So, anyway, start the video in 3, 2, 1, and let's go. And here's actually hoping that Doug, particularly likes the movie. I mean, he has talked about it on his channel before. Oh, yeah. This intro. His intro for this entire series gets crazier and crazier, every year he comes up with one. Also, I saw one of his cats in the videos inside the letters. That was, Chaplin, I think, right? Or the other, I forgot the other one's name.
Oh, I'm the Nostalgia Critic guy, remember it? Oh, I can't hold it in. We're gonna talk about one of my favorite movies of all time.
Wow, I actually didn't expect that to happen. He does love it.
The groundbreaking blend of animation and live action was the equivalent of every little kid's Avengers Endgame at the time. Most of the cartoon characters we grew up adoring were finally seen side by side. Bugs Bunny, Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, Daffy Duck, Droopy, Woody Woodpecker, plus a slew of new members.
Yeah, and I know for a fact that later movies that try to go for the whole animated / live action look for, adding other characters, and they had really good shading on some of the characters, but look at this shading! Look how good it is! And honestly, I know one of my other favorite movies, Space Jam, did some excellent shading on its 2D animated characters, but look how good that shading is! Just wow! It's incredible, and it's awesome. And I love it.
Baby Herman, Jessica Rabbit, the Weasels, and of course, good old Roger. And I'm happy to announce we have a special guest on this episode, Roger Rabbit himself. Say hello, Roger.
Malcolm! Oh, poor Malcolm. I thought it would have been an animated Roger Rabbit, but with Malcolm's voice.
So you've worked with entertainers before.
Roger, are you okay?
Better than ever. Go ahead, unzip your pants and we can get this over with.
Dude, it's not that.
Roger!
Man, you're a big star.
Yeah, I was going to be.
Just
Everybody loved
no.
when the movie came out.
What, people don't now?
No, people don't even know I exist. Some film historian will bring me up here and there, but then I'm forgotten like always.
Actually, yeah, not a lot.
Well,
was
that
known
just
about
popped
it
up. Give me
at
a
the
second.
time. At the time, the film was built up as the next evolution of cinema, with Spielberg producing, technical wizardry
So I gotta
pushed to the limit, and one of the
fix where I'm
hottest
sitting
directors
so
at
it
the
looks
time, Robert
better.
Zemeckis at the helm. And that's one of the reasons so many copyrights were bent to bring characters together you would never see together. But aside from an occasional crossover, this mix of real life and hand-drawn animation never went that far. Even you just got a couple animated shorts and then practically vanished.
Yeah, well now considering he's coming back in the live-action Rescue Rangers movie that we're getting.
Sun lotion bottles.
So, what have you been doing for money?
What or who?
Oh god.
The stuttering P thing can make a lot of people happy, if you know what I mean.
Roger, I had no idea.
It's not all bad. I do birthday parties sometimes.
Well, that's nice. There's still some children interested in you.
They're over 40. The
Yikes.
stuttering
Ugh.
trick comes in handy there, too.
I can't help but look at that little muzzle, or that little muzzle, bunny muzzle, whatever it is, that he's got over his nose. It's cute.
But your movie's more than just a technical landmark, it's a storytelling landmark. Lots of folks assume because there's kids' cartoons in it, it must be meant for children. But not only was this made at a time when PG really had a lot more of an edge to it.
What the hell is wrong with that take? Son of a bitch.
But the way
Yeah.
it was written and directed displays
And from Disney, nonetheless.
and subtly get across a lot of emotion and information. And because drunk people love saying how terrible they are so they can be told how great they are,
That's not true. I'm worse than Bin Laden.
I'm going to point out why this film deserves to be analyzed over 3 decades later. So sit back and enjoy another look at Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
No.
Then get drunk and stay out of my way.
Oh, so you know my family's
Okay.
first.
The film opens with a baby Herman and Roger Rabbit short. Roger is voiced by Charles Fleischer, who, yes, did dress like a rabbit on set to get it.
Yeah, I also forgot about that.
Cab, he appropriately became a car.
Why, I'll take care of him like he was my own brother.
Though Roger is certainly designed and talks like a cartoon from the 40s, the short itself is much more modern with fast editing,
Also,
extreme angles, and more.
You have to really question the fact of how this woman has a cartoon rabbit living with her in her
Little
house.
details, but leaves the bigger questions vague. How do these tunes exist? Are they drawn to life? Do they evolve with humans? These details aren't as important as making it clear that animated shorts are apparently filmed.
Oh yeah, I forgot that it's like a really good tracking shot too.
Music being halted when Roger messes up his line.
Can we lose the playback, please? You're killing me, killing me.
That line, by the way, is Roger seeing birds instead of stars. How does a tune control that? Again, this detail's not as important as knowing that for tunes, this is a line, not a prop.
This Roger, he keeps blowing his lines. Rabbits see stars, not birds, stars.
It's a lot like Edward Scissorhands. You don't ask how someone created a man or where those giant blocks of ice came from. Those
That or
details just aren't as
question
important
why
as details
the
that
guy that
push
created
the
him
story
needed a
forward.
bunch of robots to
His
make
incredible
cookies.
one shot that seamlessly goes from animation to live action shows you how cartoons are made in this world, that Roger apparently has force powers, and introduces you to Eddie, played by Bob Hoskins. The staging in this one shot alone must have been insane, but that's not even what I want to focus
Really
on.
good
I
tracking
wanna focus
shot.
on this few seconds of Eddie's introduction.
Tunes.
The way he said that one word shows he hates tunes. Taking a swig of whiskey shows he's an alcoholic. Putting it in his gun holster shows he values his drink over protecting himself, and probably his work. And him being there at all shows he's desperate because someone wants him for a low-level job, and he obviously wouldn't be there by choice. It's crazy how much information they get across to you in just that one shot, and most of it's nonverbal. This really is master filmmaking, even when not focusing on the brilliant animation directed by the late great Richard Williams. We'll get to his contribution in a little bit.
Mr. Maroon, Mr. Valiant's here too.
Eddie is brought to cartoon producer R.K. Maroon, by the way, voice of the gorilla later, who says to help Roger with his lines, he wants Eddie to take some sexy pictures of his wife Jessica to calm him down.
Get me a couple of nice, juicy pictures I can wise the rabbit up with.
Ugh.
Admittedly, for a
Creep.
detective, he should have smelled he was being set up, but as everybody mocks him for, he's not exactly in his prime.
From the smell of him, I'd say it was the booze talking.
He looks like a sensitive and sober fellow.
Did you change your name to Jack Daniels?
And pretty much everything.
How have I never heard that in this movie? Them referencing Jack Daniels like that.
This is his broken sign. He throws out his bills. He knows all the barflies and even borrowed the money from his girlfriend.
$50?
Where's the rest? My other man prostitutes pay me back a lot faster.
Every little detail is setting up this character through a visual medium.
Hey, mister, ain't you got a car?
Who needs a car in L.A.? We got the best public transportation system in the world.
May a nearby forest fire start if I'm wrong.
Thanks for the cigarettes.
Give me 580s PG. Later that night, he goes to the Ink and Pink Club.
Oh, hold on. Also, this particular scene has the start of when Disney characters interacted with Warner Brothers characters, and it's just awesome. And who knows? Maybe when this movie came out, the lines they had in Space Jam kind of rubbed off a little bit when Bugs and Daffy were with Mickey and Donald. I don't know. Something like that, I guess. But who knows, people? Who knows? We're just going to continue on with that.
Are allowed to be on stage, but not in the seats. In fact, the original book used tunes as an allegory.
Yeah, I actually was going to mention that. I forgot. I actually forgot I was going to mention that this movie is actually technically based on a book by the same name, though the characters are a little different in it, and it gets pretty dark. Very, very dark. Again, showing Disney will take book adaptations, turn them into classic stories, and make them a little more kid-friendly, because I said this in my reaction to his review of Hunchback, that, yeah, the original story for Hunchback was dark and depressing. So was the original story for Roger Rabbit. Ugh.
Today, you know it'd be hammered in like sin, but this film decides to be a little more subtle. There are a lot of little clues that add up, as the humans rarely consider the inequality between the two of them. They just see him as goofy entertainment to take advantage of.
No, there's no justice for toons anymore.
Strictly humans only, okay?
Our left can be a very powerful thing, but sometimes in life, it's the only weapon we have.
Again, a lot of emotional information that's gotten across in a natural way that doesn't feel manipulative. And yeah, when I was a kid, this was my Godzilla vs. Kong.
Yeah, the piano duel.
Seeing these two together blew my mind.
Look at that tail work!
To see them interacting off each other, but the original voice actors performed them as well. Sort of. Mel Blanc was still alive to voice Daffy, and Donald is a mix of replacement Tony Anselmo and archived audio of the original actor Clarence Nash.
Oh, I didn't even know that!
It's also cool that Eddie is still friends with some tunes, like Betty Boop, still voiced by the original actress Mae Questel.
Work's been kind of slow since cartoons went to color, but I still got it, Eddie.
Yeah, you still got it.
So, can I get a menu, or...?
Alright, sorry about that. I actually had to edit it right there. I think whenever a black screen to show up when it's like, oh, there's an ad that's coming, yeah, I think that's where we're going to do the editing also. Even when an ad pops up or messages pop up, I'm still going to do that. So, anyway, let's hope it's not a lot.
Marvin Acme, played by Jay Sherman. Oh, I mean Stubby K, sorry, I always confuse those.
Yeah, you won't think it's funny when I stick that tongue up your nose.
Introduced to Roger's wife, Jessica.
Oh, yeah, her introduction.
I want you to know I love you. I've loved you more than any woman's ever loved a rabbit.
But I get the feeling not as much as any man has ever loved a
rabbit. Hey! She's a good character. She's cute, she's funny, and she's sassy.
Dumbo.
I gotta deal with being the minority and the minority of the minority, and nobody supporting my ass.
Let's just call it Jessica's intro was many kids' sexual awakening. I know so many boys who went from, yeah, girls are stupid. Well, you know, they're,
She's married to Roger Rabbit.
What a lucky girl.
I hear his dick is huge.
Oh my gosh, Doug!
Though she is a legit interesting character. Despite her proportions being pretty hilarious, she looks like an hourglass if the Sahara Desert filled it up. She is written very mysteriously. While the villain of the film is rather clear, you're not always sure whose side she's on. Does she love Roger, or is she using him? As a cartoon human, is she more on the toon's side or people's side? Through most of the film, either is believable. Plus, everyone's reaction here is priceless.
Oh my gosh! Stop!
The guard tosses him out.
Booga booga!
worry.
That's my favorite Eddie line. Ooga booga!
He peeks into her dressing room and finds her and Marvin Acme playing patty cake. Which, of course, is literally playing patty cake.
And him doing this with the pictures, just like making them go like fast as he's looking through all of them, is a nice little animation right there.
I love the faster he looks at it, actually starts to animate like a real cartoon. But probably the biggest shock about this is, despite not seeing Roger and Jessica together often, you do weirdly buy them as a couple. They're polar opposites, but the way they talk about each other still shows they care for one another.
No, 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 I love my husband. You've got me all wrong.
The kryptonite of my life, the apple of my eye, the cream of my coffee.
Alright, as soon as I said that, messages pop up and... yeah, we're just gonna have to fix that. It's gonna be a lot of editing done for this video. A lot. Ugh.
Less animated. This is followed by not only a great moment, but one of my favorite moments in film history. We see Eddie hanging up his hat on a Maltese Falcon, nice touch, and looking over old pictures of his brother.
Yeah, this actually is a really good scene.
History of their life together. It's hard to cite every detail in this one shot. The Betty Boop doll indicates maybe he was nicer to her because his brother liked her. The picture of their dad and them in the circus shows how fun-loving he used to be while also foreshadowing his tumbling act. The headline shows he used to work with Toons a lot, though how did Goofy get accused of this when Donald has the more damning footage? And Hoskins
yeah!
The stellar music
Donald, why did you work with Hitler?
And on top of that, in the same shot, they had to change the background to morning, empty his bottle of alcohol, take off his jacket, adjust the lighting, and all without their shadows ever getting in the way or running into the camera operator. It hits you what an emotional and technical achievement this one shot really was. Christ, this movie is so good.
Yeah,
He's awoken by
it's a good movie.
Played by Richard Leparmentier, who informs him that Roger apparently killed Marvin Acme last night.
Just like a tune to drop a safe in a
You
guy's...
think if it splattered on his head, there would have been like more of a blood pile going on there.
Boy, Acme's blood must have been 0.0 invisible, because there's not a drop of it anyway.
That's exactly what I said!
We're then introduced to Judge Doom, played by Christopher Lloyd, who, brace yourself, is the bad guy. Yeah,
it still was a surprise to me the first time I watched this movie.
Around why and how they'll be discovered. Hell, the dude literally has wind blowing in his cape in every shot.
No matter, the rabbit won't get far. My men will find him.
I think, too, that he really looks like a Toon disguised as an intimidating human. He reminds me of the Bug from Men in Black. Like, every second, he wants to break out of his false body.
And water.
Artificial-looking skin, exaggerated features, and teeth so white it makes Simon Cowell look less like the Mask.
Oh!
He says he and his hired weasels are looking for Roger, in between random shoe killing.
Oh, this poor shoe.
Kill Toons called the Dip. He melts Nancy Cartwright's shoe. No, really, that's Nancy Cartwright. Random. And while
what?
People were horrified by this scene, I have to admit, I found it kind of funny. It's so over the top dark. I swear it served as a roadmap for Zemeckis' Christmas Carol. I love how this shoe does absolutely nothing, and he just kills it. I love how the red paint looks like blood. I love how Santino has to turn away because it's so horrific. When a guy who gets choked by Vader can't bear to look at something, you know harsh shit is going down. And it also shows that despite Eddie's prejudice against Toons, even he can't take any joy out of this. Though it'd be kind of funny if he did.
This is how we handle things down in Toontown. I think you of all people would appreciate that.
You know, while you're at it, could you maybe throw these guys in there too?
Oh, no! Okay, Caillou might be annoying sometimes, but I really don't think he deserves to be dipped or anything. Two reasons being, one, he's a cartoon kid, and two, no one wants to see a cartoon kid die. That's just wrong, Doug. Also, that particular scene still got a legit scare out of me, considering hearing the cartoon shoe's screams of, or squeaks of agony. That's actually dark and kind of creepy. Still got a scare out of me, too. Now it did, again. But yeah. Also, that might have been another original character, I'm not sure.
Tell him Acme had a will leaving Toontown to the Toons, and that's the reason he was killed off.
Why don't you run downstairs and get me a racing form?
Oh,
Even babies didn't treat women like people back then. Who says they do now, actually? Upon inspection, he finds Herman was right, and upon even more inspection, he finds Roger hiding out at his place.
When a tune's in trouble, there's only one place to go. Valiant and Valiant.
Not anymore.
I suppose this is as good a time as any to talk about the phenomenal animation and the amazing support it had. On the one hand, you have the animation itself, which, keep in mind, there was no CGI back then to measure the light.
It's really awesome seeing these live actors interact with 2D characters that, well, really aren't there.
Asked, who's the guy in the rabbit suit?
And you're not gonna get away from me again. This time.
Part of that is because another version of the film was shot with stand-ins to get an idea of where they would be and how the lighting would hit them. Compare this to, say, Tom and Jerry, where they move funny, but never fully look like they're there.
Oh, boy.
In scenes where Zemeckis wanted to show off by having lighting constantly change, you completely believe they're sharing the same space, even getting the shadows and reflections down. Second is the support behind the animation. On top of the actors' brilliant conviction, making you believe they're looking at something that's not there. Just watch actors with Jar Jar to figure out how
Oh, no.
Miming, strings, and inventive...
Yeah, it was a lot of those kind of effects that they used.
Eddie's cuffs in this scene, for example, are just a sculpture frozen in this protruding position.
Wow, that is actually impressive. Good on you, Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I almost forgot the name of the movie.
As a kid, and sometimes you don't even think of him as an adult, which is a clear sign of how amazing a job the film is doing.
Step out of line and we'll hang you and your laundry out to dry.
After they escape the weasels, Eddie takes Roger to the bar.
But tell me, Eddie, is that a rabbit in your pocket or are you just happy to see me?
Can it be both?
Oh, I forgot about that joke. That might be my least favorite joke in the movie.
Why, my Uncle Thumper had a problem with his probate.
Wait. It's not the same Thumper I'm thinking of, is it?
As in Bambi Thumper?
Unrelated. You
No! You can't do that to me, dog!
I'm gonna just pretend this isn't happening.
Jeez, now I'm just imagining Thumper going to prison and getting all those tattoos. Ugh.
To ask him to find Roger. And if you're wondering why he's getting out of the shower here, it's because...
Right, yeah, I actually did see this deleted scene.
Putting a giant pig head on him that washes off in the shower.
Yeah, and it was,
it's fucking
very awkward.
There's no reason to have it in the film. It gives away part of the reveal of Toontown. And even Hoskins' accent and Lloyd's acting seem a little off.
Rummaging around in a lady's dressing room. Tisk. If I'd have wanted underwear, I'd have broken into Fredericks of Hollywood.
Now, if you excuse me, I gotta go.
Must have been like a hot day for shooting, so they couldn't really get their accents, like, to switch.
One of the odder lines to become famous. It's not bad, it's just weird that this is the one everyone remembers.
I'm not bad.
I'm just drawn that way.
How Frank Miller's later characters would talk.
Oh, wow!
Thank Jesus this misunderstanding only lasts a few seconds. I think the film itself even forgot it put it in there. I get the feeling this moment exists only for this one scene.
Sorry.
You did not just do that.
Oh, sorry, it glitches there because it's been rewound so much. No reason. Roger can't help but entertain, and he outs himself at the bar, getting the attention of Doom.
Angelo would rat on you for a nickel.
Not Angelo, he'd never turn me in.
I enjoy how Roger discusses the importance of winning people over through laughter, and yes, while standing on a soapbox. But it shows Eddie it can win someone even like Angelo over, who won't turn him in because of it. Again, foreshadowing the importance of utilizing humor. Plus, Doom using this vet's missing arm to erase the board. What a dick.
A rabbit.
Very dark, also.
Right to me.
Doom has a plan to draw him out, though.
No two can resist the old shave and a haircut.
That's why neither the weasels nor I will fall for it. Oh, that is by I mean you. Roger falls for the trick, but Eddie remembers that he goes crazy whenever he takes a shot of bourbon.
Fine time for a drink, Eddie. Maybe you'd like a bowl of pretzels to go with it.
Pour the drink, Dolores.
And yes, a bowl of pretzels would be great.
There we go.
Works as Eddie fights off the weasels. Again, they locate Roger's pal Benny in Doom's van. The scene's pretty awesome because it's not just a chase, it's a cartoon chase. Animated logic has to be utilized all the time, even to the point where Eddie becomes a cartoon every once in a while.
Yeah, that was very, very awkward.
Right out in a nearby theater.
You know, for some people who probably couldn't catch moments like that if you pause it frame by frame.
Too bad he's a communist. Wait, was he cleared of those spy charges?
Dropped the piano on us from 15 stories.
Eddie revealed that.
Yeah, and really, honestly, this is another really good sad scene right here.
An inappropriate joke in this serious scene really makes me laugh hard.
Only he got the drop on us. Literally.
Drop on us, and you said you sent the
Wow, Doug.
Because your brother is dead. Eddie figures out that R.K. Maroon has a part to play in this crime, and he meets up with him saying he has the will. Which he actually does with Roger's letter to Jessica, but nobody knows that yet. But Maroon is, well, a Maroon and gets jumped by it.
The old seltzer gag.
Cloverleaf scenario. The story of greed, sex, and murder.
Well, greed, patty cake, and murder, unless that's an our deleted scene.
Oh no.
Is shot, and the killer drives into Toontown. Eddie confronts his prejudice, pulls out a Toon gun, and even pours out the rest of his alcohol.
There you go, Eddie. You don't need that stuff.
12 steps. Just stop being racist. I'm not sure what they were trying to say here. He enters Toontown filled with Disney archive footage that maybe they should have looked a little closer at. Hey, it's a 40s film about racism. Kind of works. And he thinks he tracks down Jessica, but it's not.
Yeah, not the right one.
Escapes to one of my favorite jokes in the film. He comes across a moment you will never see ever again.
Hey, what's up, Doc?
In fact, one of the qualifications to get Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck in the same scene as Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck is that they had to share the exact same amount of screen time. That's why you rarely see them alone, and they're often side by side. Even after Donald gets his alone time on screen, Daffy needs the exact same amount of alone time.
It's Daffy. He needs the more screen time.
Mickey is shown just a few seconds earlier, proving again the mouse always needs to be number one.
No Brooklyn accented, puffy-cheeked union on stage. My God!
You know, honestly, I'm surprised that Mickey didn't really use any magic on him, the magic that he had from South Park, on the creators of this movie to get more screen time. Then again, Daffy would probably fight Mickey over more screen time than he does with Bugs. Just saying, the two of them fighting over more screen time, that would be hilarious to see.
Should probably ignore I have that. I will give credit that they made Mickey dark enough that he smiles at Bugs' almost fatal prank.
Poor fella.
Yeah, ain't I a stinker?
We just killed a man.
Yeah. That's a deadly smile. Oh, jeez. Alright, we'll let that one slip.
The imposter and continues his search for Jessica, who he thinks shot Maroon. Yeah, where's your editing on that, Disney Plus?
I always knew I'd get it in Toontown.
Or that.
Is that a rabbit in your pocket, or you're just happy to see me?
Jessica reveals it was Doom who killed R.K. Maroon as they try to outrun the weasels and search for Roger.
I have to find my darling husband. I'm so worried about him.
Seriously, what do you see in that guy?
He's got a big dick. There's a reason he wears...
Gosh, Doug, stop!
Doom stops them by... Wait, I got one more. You know how when you pull out a mallet, it's really tiny in your pocket, but then when it's out, it's like gigantic?
Doug, we get it!
Doom stops them by pouring dip on Benny's tires, and don't pause this scene on VHS. It'll grow up your kids too early.
My Jessica. Do they have the will or not?
Nah, just a stupid love letter.
Doom reveals that without the will, he'll be the owner of Toontown and plans to obliterate it to put up a freeway. Most likely a commentary on gentrification and not caring for the people who live there. Again, tying back into the racism allegory.
No one's going to notice Toontown's disappeared.
Who's got time to wonder what happened to something nice when you're driving by at 75 miles an hour?
How else could you explain words like this suddenly sounding evil?
Inexpensive motels, restaurants that serve rapidly prepared food, and wonderful billboards.
My God, it sounds a lot
It will be wonderful.
Roger tries to save the
Okay.
day, but he gets captured as well. Eddie, however, gives into his silly side and makes the weasels literally laugh themselves to death. But then Doom enters the picture and...
Now I'm thinking that when he's going off that little line with his cane.
That's not what happens.
Yes, it is.
Why don't you want to talk about...
No, that's really it. Nothing else.
Wait.
No, Mr. Critic.
No!
Scene you're leaving out. No, there's really no scene.
What is he
Oh dear.
Wait, is he...
Perhaps did you repress this?
critic crap inside of his pants. Oh, you were gonna have a hard time cleaning all that off your new wall, Doug. I pity you, sir. Gosh dang it. Give you props for that, Doug. That was...
Let's talk about this.
Oh my gosh.
After a suspenseful fight with some damn good effects of Doom getting flattened...
Some decent practical effects, too.
...revealed to be a tune. And did I say the shoes scene scarred childhoods? This one...
And the reveal and that smile.
Kids and even adults were terrified at, honestly, a simple effect, but so effectively done. Though I always wondered what kind of Inspector Gadget tune he was supposed to be. Nothing compared to the nightmare impact he left behind. Lloyd's face without the animation.
Oh my god!
This will forever go down.
That is freaking terrifying.
The most terrifying thing ever put in any kid-ish media.
There. Was that so bad?
I don't know. You want to clean up my seat?
I'm good.
I could use the money.
Oh, come on, Roger!
Cooler all over the place, and Doom's finally defeated. Still easier than a Nintendo game.
Wow.
The police and the Toons arrived to discover not only was Doom responsible for Acme's murder, but the will was Roger's letter to Jessica with disappearing, reappearing ink. But he doesn't seem too happy. Maybe he was like, I invested in Clover.
Pretty funny dance you did for the weasels.
And he also seems to have gotten his sense of humor back until Roger zaps him with a hand buzzer.
Don't tell me you lost your sense of humor already.
Does this answer your question?
He's still a good sport. The Toons
That would have been a dark ending, honestly.
The idea will never fuck up California in
Hold on,
any way possible. Gotta love, too, how they couldn't let old Warner Brothers character have the final scene.
Of course.
Yeah, he gets the last line, but it's Tinkerbell who gets the last frame of film. Even though Peter Pan wasn't released until 6
Maybe it was just promoting it, I guess?
Time has no place in Neverland. It's a low blow. The credits roll, and everyone's thankful for great talents like Robert Zemeckis, Steven Spielberg, and Kathleen Kennedy? Huh. Actually, she produced a lot of amazing things.
Okay.
But people don't like her now because of Star Wars. There must be something she produced that was bad to make this joke work. Okay, that feels better.
Oh no!
Who Framed Roger Rabbit may not have jump-started a new evolution in film, but honestly, that might be one of the reasons it's so one of a kind. On a technical level, it's truly unique, as no mix of live-action and 2D animation has ever looked this good or had this many crossovers. On a storytelling level, it's also amazing how to get across so much character and information in such a tight amount of time without having to over-explain anything. It's also impressive that a character like Roger doesn't become annoying. He's still authentic of that time period, but is perfectly funny and agitating in the ways...
Sorry about that, I had to like pop my neck for a second.
Stellar. It's wildly imaginative, it looks amazing, even the music is absolute first-rate. Even though this movie won't start any cinematic universes, it still works on a variety of levels. So, if you haven't seen it in a while, take another watch and rediscover the best of your childhood with just the right amount of an adult edge.
Oh my gosh.
Well, those are some very kind things to say.
Well, I really think you and this movie have made a much bigger impact than you probably give credit for.
Honey bunny, let's play.
All right, be right there.
Oh, right, you're married to Jessica.
Yeah, but I still got a rough life.
No, you don't.
You're right.
Honey bunny.
On my way, figure eight body.
Why the hell did I feel sorry for him?
Alright, well there you have it, guys. That was my reaction to... sorry, almost got tongue-tied. That was my reaction to Nostalgia Critic reviewing Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and I'm glad he liked the movie because, yeah, it's a real classic Disney film. Has great acting, great characters, and honestly, the fact that it was one of the first few movies to do animated characters mixing with live actors, that was a really cool ambition, and it would set up later movies. In fact, like I said, one of my all-time favorite animated / live action movie, Space Jam. Surprisingly. Yeah. But honestly, that last bit with him being Judge Doom, that got a laugh out of me, and he's definitely going to be cleaning those walls for months and months. Though, not really sure how they got out of his pants when he was... Yeah, I'm not going to question it too much. Maybe Doug has his own Toon Force powers that he didn't know about. Maybe. Or it's possible Doug was a cartoon all along and we didn't know it. Or again, could have been editing on his part to add that in, so, you know. Anyways, with that being said, thank you all for watching this video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click that notification bell to never miss a new video. So, I will see all you awesome guys and gals later. Bye-bye!